Jesus wasn't just betrayed, he was sold for the exact legal price of a slave. 30 pieces of silver wasn't random, it came straight from ancient law. And it carried a meaning the religious leaders fully understood. And once you see why they chose that number, this betrayal stops looking like greed and starts looking calculated. The number was decided before the betrayal even happened. Jerusalem is on edge. This isn't a normal week. It's Passover. The city is flooded with pilgrims. Tensions are already high under Roman rule. And right in the middle of it, Jesus. He's not staying quiet. He's overturning tables in the temple, calling out religious hypocrisy publicly, drawing massive crowds. Every move he makes puts pressure on the system. The religious leaders are losing control, and they know it. They don't just want him gone, they need him gone without a riot, without witnesses, without backlash. Then, one of his own walks in, Judas. From the Gospel of Matthew, he asks, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him to you?" This isn't emotional, it's transactional, cold, calculated. And the response is immediate. They counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. No delay, no discussion. Almost like they already had a number in mind. This wasn't negotiation, this was confirmation. Because in their law, 30 already meant something. 30 pieces of silver was already defined as a price of a slave. To understand this, you have to think like an ancient legal system, not emotional, structured, defined. In the Book of Exodus, chapter 21, there's a law about liability. If an ox kills someone, responsibility falls on the owner. But the outcome changes depending on status. If the victim is free, the consequences are severe. But if the victim is a slave, the law assigns a fixed value, 30 shekels of silver. Not because of who they are, because of what they're considered. This is critical to understand. In that system, a slave was legally categorized as property. So the payment isn't about grief, it's about replacement value, like compensating damage. So when Judas asked, "What is he worth?" they didn't hesitate. They answered with law. They valued Jesus as property, not teacher, not prophet, not Messiah. Property. But this number didn't just exist in law. It was already echoing through prophecy. 500 years before Judas, this number shows up again. In the Book of Zechariah, chapter 11, God gives the prophet a role to act out. A shepherd, caring for a flock doomed to destruction. It's symbolic. The flock represents the people. The shepherd represents God's leadership over them. And despite care, they reject him. So the shepherd does something unexpected. He asks, "What am I worth to you?" This is a test, a moment of truth. How do they value the one who led them, protected them, guided them? Their answer? 30 pieces of silver, the price of a slave. And God's response is sharp. "Throw it to the potter, the magnificent price they valued me at." That's not praise, that's sarcasm. Divine sarcasm. Then comes the strange instruction. Throw the money into the temple, to the potter. 3 elements: temple, money, potter. For centuries, no one could fully connect those dots, until Judas. Now everything converges. Judas completes the betrayal. Jesus is arrested, condemned, and suddenly the weight of it hits him. "I have sinned. I betrayed innocent blood." Notice, he doesn't deny it. He knows exactly what he's done. He goes back to the priests, the same men who paid him, looking for relief, for reversal, for anything. They respond, "What is that to us?" Translation, "You made your choice." Judas throws the silver into the temple, exactly like the prophecy. Now the priests are stuck. They can't put the money back. It's blood money. So they make another decision. They buy a potter's field, temple, coins, potter. Every piece lines up, recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27. But the deeper meaning isn't just fulfillment, it's contrast. Because just days earlier, Jesus was valued very differently. A woman, Mary, breaks open perfume worth a year's wages, pours it out on him. It's extravagant, costly, intentional. And Judas says, "Why waste it?" That's the same man who would sell Jesus days later. One moment, Jesus is worth a year's wages. Next moment, he's worth the price of a slave. Two valuations, two perspectives. And what happens to the money? It buys a field. Not for the powerful, not for the elite, for outsiders, foreigners, the rejected. The price used to reject Jesus became a place for the rejected. That's not irony, that's redemption. If this changed how you see this story, there's more. The Bible is layered with connections most people never slow down enough to see. Subscribe if you want to uncover them. 30 pieces of silver, a legal value, a prophetic signal, a calculated insult. But in God's hands, the price of a slave became part of the redemption of the world.